Okay, then I won't let you on my side.
Guys down here ready?
Yes.
Ready? Okay, let's start. Whenever you're ready, Liz.
The following is the agenda for the regular council meeting of the Borough of Pompton, Lakes Mayor and Council and Municipal Corporation in the County of Passaic. The meeting will begin at 7:30 p.m. on May 11, 2022, in the municipal building consistent with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. The meeting will be open for public comments. Public comments may be made at designated times during the meeting and may be submitted in writing to be read aloud during the meeting. Comments to be read at the meeting must be submitted at least 24 hours prior to the meeting by email or to the clerk's office at 25 Lennox Avenue, Pompton Lakes, and must be of length that can reasonably be read within the time limit for public comment.
Please stand for a flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In conformance with the Open Public Meeting Law, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this meeting setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this regular meeting through notice posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, mailed to all have requested and paid for same, and published in Suburban Trends. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sarah.
Here.
Council President Polidori.
Here.
Councilman Day.
Here,
Councilman Cruz.
Here.
Councilman Zorn.
Here.
Councilwoman Kent.
Here.
And Councilman Bennett.
Here.
With us this evening is our Borough Attorney Mark Semeraro, and our Borough Administrator Kevin Moore.
That's my name. Thank you. Okay, under presentations, it's my privilege to announce our new Borough Administrator. Now, I know we're all going to have nice things to say about Kevin when he's leaving, but he's still here for 2 weeks, so we'll hold that off for 2 weeks if you want to do that. And we have Paula, who's going to be our new administrator. I'm going to swear her in now, and if you want to say some words after, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was gonna, it's televised.
Do you want to hold that? And kind of just turn that way. Okay, sure. Mr. Cameron.
My left hand on the Bible, right?
Left hand up, on the Bible. Let's just stand on this side. There we go.
Here.
All right, I got that right.
That's it.
Right hand up.
That's better, right.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. I state your name,
Paula Cosarelli,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state.
under authority of the people.
Under the authority of the people,
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
Borough Administrator
Borough Administrator
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll just say some words for the public. You know, we did an intense interview process, myself, Council President Caldori, and Councilman Ryan. There were many good candidates. This one came to the top for us. I think she likes the idea of our small town feel here, and I think she'll fit in well. She has both experience from a small town and from a big town. So we're expecting big things from her. Not putting any pressure on you, but we're getting big things. Go ahead.
So thank you so much, Mayor and Council, and our attorney here, my family being with me tonight, and of course Kevin. I've been here for 3 days, and already I'm just so comfortable being here, and I'm just amazed at the volunteerism in this borough. I've been in other towns, and I've never seen such solidarity and support from the residents for their government and the dedication of the council. I know they have been through a lot in different storms that have hit the town and have come through for the residents, and that was really one of the main things that attracted me here, is how much you all care about the people you serve here. And I just feel so welcomed, and I was very confident during the interview process, and I'm very proud to be able to serve here. And yes, I will, you can be hard on me, because I will come through. I will try my best for the borough of Pompton Lakes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sit over there, Commissioner.
I'll do that.
We're gonna give you a 2-day learning curve, and then you're on your own. So at that point, you figure it out. No, you got counsel here that'll help you. You got a great staff. We have, like you said, a lot of dedicated staff, and you just have to ask somebody, and they're willing to help. So I'm welcome, and the door's always open if you need anything. Okay, I lost my agenda.
You need another one?
How come my agenda is not?
The agenda.
I have another one.
I printed one out.
Here's the last one.
Okay, good, perfect. Thank you. I might have left it down there, that's what happened. Okay, can I have a motion to open the meeting for public comments?
So moved.
Council President Polidori, Councilman Devine, sir? Yes. Is it Devine?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address? Seeing no one? Can I close the public session?
Motion.
Councilman Bennett?
Second.
Councilman Devine? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to approve the following minutes, regular meeting minutes, April 27th, 2022. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Council President Polidori, Councilman, who's that, Cruz? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? We have no bills and claims this one. Consent agenda, does anybody need anything removed?
Whereas the mayor and council of the borough of Pompton Lakes have reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions, whereas the mayor and council of the borough of Pompton Lakes does not desire to move resolutions for individual action from that agenda. Now therefore be it resolved that the following resolutions on the consent agenda are hereby approved. Resolution 22-156 through 22-161.
Motion to approve the resolutions.
So moved.
Councilman Day.
Second.
Second.
Councilwoman Polidori.
Who's Bobby?
Councilman Cruz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, first readings, no, second readings.
An ordinance for second reading, this has been advertised and posted. An ordinance amending Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 730, term and conditions of the municipal code of the Borough of Pompton Lakes to add a no left turn prohibited unto Wanacue Avenue.
Okay, motion to open the meeting for public comments on ordinance 22-13.
So moved.
Council President Polidori,
Second.
Councilman DeWine, is it DeWine? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public just to address this ordinance? This is the no left turn for the new project off of Babcock, your Babcock. Okay, step up, please.
Yeah, Randy Hinton, 443 Montclair. That is Babcock you're talking about?
It's not Babcock, it's the entrance to their parking structure that'll be down
All
from
right, so you
Babcock.
can still make a left on Babcock
Yes,
by the old movie theater.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, motion to close the meeting for public comments on ordinance 22-13.
So moved.
Council President Polidori. Who's that?
Second.
Councilman DeWine, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to approve ordinance 22-13 for final adoption.
Motion.
Councilman Bennett,
Second?
Councilwoman Kent, roll call, please.
Councilman Cruz.
This is 14?
13.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead, start.
Councilman Cruz.
Yes.
Councilman Devine.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kent.
Yes.
Councilwoman Polidori.
Yes.
Councilman Bennett.
Yes.
Councilman Day.
Yes.
Ordinance 22-14, an ordinance amending Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 711.1, vehicle stopping or standing prohibited of the municipal code of the Borough of Pompton Lakes to add a no stopping or standing prohibition on Wanacue Avenue.
Motion to open the meeting for public comments on ordinance 22-14.
So moved.
Councilman
Second.
Day, Councilman Cruz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone like to address just this ordinance? Seeing no one, motion to close the meeting for public comments on ordinance 22-14.
So moved.
Council President Polidori,
Second.
Councilman Bennett. Motion to approve ordinance 22-14 for final adoption.
So moved.
Councilman Day,
Second.
Councilman Bennett, roll call, please.
Councilman Cruz,
Yes.
Councilman Delory,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kenny,
Yes.
Councilwoman Polidori,
Yes.
Councilman Bennett,
Yes.
Councilman Day.
Yes.
Good, thank you. Okay, under my report, I did a proclamation for an individual who's been in town for 95 years. He's never left town. The children asked if I could read a proclamation for him. A lot of you might know who he is. His name is Sonny Accardi. So we did a nice ceremony. He was hopefully coming today, but I guess he didn't make it. But he spent his whole life here in Pompton Lakes. I'm going to just read a couple things that he had done. He attended Lennox School and Pompton Lakes High School, as did most of his grandchildren, children, and great-grandchildren. He's a proud veteran, served in World War II. He worked his entire career in Pompton Lakes, including working many years for the borough and becoming superintendent of public works. He was actually made superintendent of public works back when the MUA was not here and the borough did everything together. So he was the supervisor when it kind of split off. He's bought and sold more than 20 houses and 42 apartments here in Pompton Lakes. So it was nice to see him, and he swears to me he'll be back at his 100th. I said, he said, I will be here on my 100th, and I would like another proclamation. I said, okay, we will do that for you. So congratulations to him. Along with a bunch of us up here, I attended a function to meet our new assemblyman and senator. I'm fortunate enough to know, and I think some people up here are fortunate enough to have them before. They've been through our town once before. We have one new gentleman that's there. They seem very enthusiastic to be working with us. Right now, we're still using our old assembly and senate for about another year, and then that'll be switching over to the new team. So, we get new faces, new people, and as everyone knows that we're involved, we want them to be involved in the community, and that's the message that I left with them, that we want them involved in their community. What else? I attended the Board of Ed meeting last night because they honored Teachers of the Year, and I was lucky enough to have my daughter be Teacher of the Year, so I'm doing a little bragging. They gave her a nice little plaque, and Mrs. Allen, who, if you've been in town, she's been there a long time. She was also Teacher of the Year. I think she's there probably, 35, 40 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice ceremony, did a nice job. Just some side notes, and I'm sure Bobby will report on this. They're going to start recording their Board of Ed meetings now, and putting them on their channel, not on their channel, on their computer system for now, and see how that goes. I attended a couple meetings with a couple of different residents over some concerns with, believe it or not, the noise from Tilcon. So Tilcon is telling me on a cloudy day, when there's a lot of clouds, the echo carries much farther than normal. It's the same explosion that we'll hear normally, but when it's cloudy, it does carry a little bit more. I understand that. I live close to that area too, and I do hear them every once in a while. You get that earth rattling shaking of the house. But they tell me, and there is a site you can go on Tilcon itself that monitors all the blasts that they have. And there's an area that they have to stay within, and all their blasts are always in that area. So it's just reassuring them that they were okay with that. And I think that is my report. Council President Polidori.
Thank you, Mayor. I also attended the meet and greet with Assemblyman Weber and Bergen and Senator Panaccio. Assemblyman Bergen has come to numerous events in town already, so I know they're very excited to start working with us. I was very impressed with their thoughts on what they are willing to bring to us in the start of 2024. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I hope everyone enjoyed a lovely weekend. Arbor Day, the last Friday in April, myself, along with Board of Ed President and Pompton Lakes Women's Club member Nancy Schwartz and Shade Tree Commissioner Randy Hinton, visited both Lincoln and Lennox elementary schools with saplings for each child donated to us by the NJ Forestry Program. It is a free tree program that the state does every year for the 3rd grade only. So every year, Randy and myself, now I guess we're going on 6 years. I think we started the year that my son was in third grade, along with a member of the Women's Club, and we give a little presentation about the history of Arbor Day, and Randy talks about tree care and tree planting, and then we invite all of the students to come up and share the name that they've picked for their tree with their classmates, and that's the most fun part. We had some crazy names this year. So thank you for coming. That was great. The principals are always so happy to have us there. So we do that for the third grade. For the second grade this year, for one time only, we have a piece of playground equipment coming in to Pacifico Gallo. It is a giant frog. So I was informed today by both principals, Renee and McCarthy, that the drawings are ready to be picked up next week. So all of the submissions for the Name the Frog contest, this is something we're running for the second graders. So Councilwoman Kent and I, along with the Open Space Committee, will pick a winner from each Lincoln and Lenox school, and that will be the frog's name. So that's very exciting. Hopefully we can tie that in with the completion and ribbon cutting for Pacifico Gallo, which I hear we're still on track to get the equipment, unless you've heard anything different. I think it's still coming in at the end of May. Okay, so we're excited about that. Okay. I also participated in Councilwoman Kent's river cleanup. So I will let you talk about that. I just have to say that I am beyond impressed. You energized an entire town. I think you had a representative from just about every single group,
Pretty much.
affiliation, everything. There was someone here and many people that cover many different groups, and the town was spotless the next day. So thank you for all of your hard work on that.
Thank you.
And that is my report.
Thank you. You reminded me of a couple of things. I did meet with our Shade Tree Commissioner. I want everybody to know that we've had an arborist look at the trees at the library. We've talked about this before. The blooming trees that we have, the cherry blossoms, they're past their prime, and unfortunately they do have to come down. I'm not happy about it, but the arborist said it's a problem waiting to happen. So we did wait till after this last bloom, and then in the next month or so they will start some work there. And we walked around and identified some areas that the Shade Tree Commission might be putting in some trees. But they, of course, will be smaller trees than what we've had there now. So if residents come up to you, this is the arborist asking us to do this. If we had a choice, we wouldn't, but some of those branches are a little dangerous, and that's why we're doing that. And I also forgot to mention, I attended with Councilman Bennett an Eagle ceremony. And I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Gregory DeBoer.
Gregory DeBoer. Beautiful ceremony. I never miss any of the Eagle ceremonies, because so much hard work goes into those programs, especially Silver Awards and those for the Girl Scouts. The time and energy they put in, and remember, they're doing that at age 17 and 18. Tough time to be doing that kind of work and doing it. So it's really a hard thing, and I give them all the credit in the world. And lastly, I did forget to mention the river cleanup too. Thank you, Councilwoman Kent. It was a great turnout, lots of people, lots of young kids, which is great to see, getting them involved. So you'll talk more about that. Councilwoman Kent.
Oh, thank you.
You're up.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to welcome our new administrator, Paula, and I'm looking forward to working with you, and I wish you all the best, and we will be a pain in the neck, I'm sure, but that's okay. Kevin's gotten used to that, I think, so we're good. I attended the Flood Advisory Board meeting. The Flood Advisory Board members would like to request this council and mayor immediately contact the North Jersey Water Authority to remove the logs on the dam.
I understand a bid has been sent out, and they've accepted it. I don't know, do we know where it is with it? No. So they've accepted a company to do it, I know that.
Okay, well, and I understand that, and we don't have any control over them. However, they are adamant that if we have another heavy rain, they don't want those logs going into somebody's home or into somebody's car or hurting someone. So with that, the FAB also requests, and they will be sending you a resolution, that our mayor and council request that they don't have this bid issue. In other words, they're asking that we ask that they have a person or a company on the books, that they don't have to go out to bid. They should have somebody, and that they should have a yearly cleanup, no matter who it is. So they're versus Yeah,
You can't make them do it.
but we can't make them do it, but they did ask that we make a resolution or a letter saying that there's no reason that we have to wait. You know it's gonna happen, you should do this every year.
I
To me,
think their
it's-
argument's gonna be, we're not the only river that has this situation, so they're gonna hire people in every river to do this.
Let them.
Well, let them, yeah, we'll send it.
Yeah, but, okay, so that's that, and they're very adamant about it, because, they do everything to try to avoid flooding.
If they're gonna put it together, just have them send it to us.
They're gonna, working on that now. Okay, I appreciate that. And the FAB also requests, they were on that night. They also request that the design of the Dawes Highway Bridge, that the Passaic County Engineering Department include our OEM and members, one or two members of our flood board, because they want to make sure that the span of the bridge and I guess the arc of the bridge, right now it's kind of like arced, so they have to make it longer, but they're afraid that they're not going to include what they want for flood control. Because right now, when the water hits that bridge, when in a flood situation, I think there's a backwater, and then that causes more flooding. So they want to make sure that's all been addressed, because they've done a lot of work with that. So they ask that we contact the Department of Engineering at the county and have, representatives.
I don't know if they're gonna have meetings, Kevin, do you know if they're having meetings?
I think the best you can do is ask them to provide us with plans prior to the bid to review. They're not gonna.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have
They're
meetings.
not gonna be inviting our people down to Passaic County. We can ask the engineer to provide us with a copy of the plans prior to bidding, but they're not gonna want our people to have, it's their project, so-
It's their project.
Well, we can review it, but they're not gonna say, be part of the committee. I can talk to Mr. Ferrer and make sure he does that.
Okay, I mean, that's what they're
As long
requesting.
as we review it before they put it out, so that's what we want to check out.
Right, and they just want to make sure that, I mean, they've been studying this bridge for, 10, 12 years now. So they just want to make sure that some of those aspects are built into the design of the bridge. Okay, well, good. All right, thank you very much, and I'll bring that message back to them. The volunteers from the Flood Advisory Board, along with some of the river cleanup folks, also started the initial New Jersey Sustainable Grant for the Haraldson Place Restoration Program. They secured about 2,500 square feet. I believe it's about that long, about that big, with a heavy gauge plastic to cover the invasive species. And you'll see, if you see any kind of like a plastic on the ground and there's an orange snow fence, that's just to keep everybody out. It also will kill the invasive species without digging up the ground, which we're not allowed to do as DEP permit. So this is the best way to handle that. And we believe, I think in September, this stuff will be gone. We'll be able to pull it out very easily and then plant the native species that we've selected and trees. I think there will be at least 3 trees planted with, I think the consultant.
The shade tree?
Yes, I think you've been involved in that, right? So we should have no problems with that, hopefully by September 22nd, and then we'll meet all the contents of the grant, and then we'll spend that money, and we should be fine. And I want to thank Lauren Vennon and Steve Fleming for doing that project. I attended the Board of Health meeting. The Board of Health members are looking to initiate a proactive pest inspection ordinance, just so you know. Right now, the borough does not have an ordinance that requires certain retail food establishments to do inspections for pests, cockroaches, things like that. Other towns do. Wayne does, many other towns, most towns do, we don't. So they were going to work with their attorney, and they want to have at least a pest ordinance that those retails that have food, and I believe restaurants, they will have to at least inspect at least once every 6 months, twice a year, maybe a quarter. They're going to look at how much it's going to cost. It's about $600-700.
So that's gonna be on the business owner.
That'll be on the business owner or yeah.
That's a lot of money for a business owner, $1,200 a year.
Well, they said it's something that they should have had, and we have a lot of new businesses. The only time that they will bring in a pest control person is if they find that there's a problem, and then they come in. Otherwise, there's no ordinance on the books. So it's a proactive approach. They're going to be working with that. I'm not even sure who our attorney is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Mark.
No, they don't have an attorney that I know of.
I'm not sure who puts the ordinance
It would be
together.
Mark.
It would be me.
It will be Mark? Okay, Mark, okay, so, because I was wondering who our
Are they
attorney
gonna
was.
propose something, or do you want me to look at the Wayne ordinance and emulate it?
Well, we're not going to be meeting until September, so I think let them propose it. And
Okay,
then
I'll
we'll,
wait for further.
yeah,
Okay,
okay? But you'll be getting something,
okay.
just so you know. Okay. The DPW report is very short, the wood dock for the Lakeside Avenue waterway, Lakeside Park, is in repair. There's some minor damage, so they can't put it in water until it's fixed.
It's going to hopefully be in tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, you didn't tell me that. Okay, but, yeah, I know people are looking at it because they like to use the dock, but it can't go in broken or damaged, so it's a safety issue. Okay. I forgot one thing. The Board of Health is going to ask Mike Corelli, they're going to have a new, they want to have a place on the page, on the Facebook page.
All right, so they're responsible, each group is responsible for their own page. Mike
Right.
Corelli doesn't do that.
Okay, so they don't have to do that. So they want to make,
Each person is supposed to be updating their own information on their own pages.
okay,
So
I
if they
don't
have
think,
events, Mike Corelli will do that, but if updating information on the pages should be somebody within the group.
okay, so we have a woman, Kelly, who she's pretty good with this
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yes, sir.
But they're gonna, okay, so they are going to start one. I don't think they have one right now. Very, very minimal,
You guys
like
know- I
licensing.
thought they had a page that doesn't,
They haven't been
Board of Health?
they haven't been posting too much.
yeah, look and see if they have one.
They
I thought
should.
Board of
had
Health
one.
doesn't.
Are we talking about a Facebook page or we're talking about a
They
district
have a
page?
website page.
Website page, is that
Are
what
you
you're talking
talking
about?
about the website?
I think they're
Because you
going
mentioned
to-
Facebook, Maria, that's why I'm asking.
What's that?
You mentioned Facebook.
I don't think they have a Facebook page.
Okay, so it's a district website, district page there.
I thought they had, every group had a webpage.
They do, but they're gonna start posting. They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's fine.
actually gonna start doing more posting now. They're gonna get into it.
So
And
Liz, we went through training, right, it was a while ago, right? And we invited all the groups to, maybe they have to be retrained.
I believe Jill went through it.
Jill, yeah.
Jill's gonna work
On
with
behalf-
Kelly, yeah.
on
Kathy
behalf
showed her where the instructions were and how you can go in there and, if you want to put something up, they have videos, they have all types of, tools to.
I think they're not exactly sure who they work with, so they should be working with Kathy,
Would be put it up.
Jill.
But Kathy will
Kath-
show her,
Okay.
Jill will be responsible, but if she has questions, she can go to Kathy, because Kathy does it all the time.
Okay, so they're gonna start being more
Yes.
active in that, just so you
She's
know.
already approached us about it.
Okay, yeah, she
So
should
each
have.
group was supposed to be doing that all along.
Right.
So,
Okay,
it's up to how much they want to put into it.
okay, that's very good, and I'll just tell them that to deal with Kathy Trost for
I mean,
the initial one.
Jill's pretty
It should
knowledgeable.
be
in it,
to
Yeah.
to Jill.
Yeah, Jill will talk to Kathy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, she has her.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right, yeah, because that happened a couple weeks ago when we had our meeting.
I
And-
think Kelly is actually coming in.
Yeah, they're gonna work
To do it
together, because she does it for her job,
Yes.
and so she's gonna help Jill. So that's gonna happen. We're gonna talk about cottage industries, bakers' homes, because there's I guess a lot of people are posting about baking and cooking and serving foods. It's technically not under the cottage industry regulation. It's only for certain baked goods, not foods, not empanadas and certain things. So they want to clarify that a little bit. So they're gonna start talking about that. Okay. Now, my annual, the 19th annual townwide river cleanup, it was an amazing success. I've never seen it that big in the 19 years that we've had it. And I want to thank all the mayor and council for coming and supporting it. I want to thank Kevin for always helping us out, and Liz for always being there for all the paperwork that we have to fill out for clean communities and so on. We had, just so you know, we had over 150 gloves, we had over 150 garbage bags that were collected, and they were given out, and everyone came back. They were either placed on curbs in front of houses or down by the parks, along the rivers, along the streams, in the athletic fields. We've collected, I'm not even exactly sure, Dan hasn't gotten back to me on the weight of it, but it has to be at least, 2,000 pounds or more. I want to thank DPW for doing the cleanup because they picked up all the bags. The kids had a great time collecting stuff out of the rivers. They had shopping carts, car bumpers, fences, of course, along with their usual bottles, cans, litter, and, some unmentionable things that we won't talk about. And they found this in pretty much everywhere, in everywhere through town. Tires were something that I was surprised that they were finding, because I thought we pulled all the tires out, but those kids, I tell you, the Pompton Lakes athletes in the high school, they absolutely had a ball. Those guys had a ball. And because there were so many people, there were over 100 people that signed up. And we have a new RQ code. We had 50 signups on the RQ, and then we had QR code, and then we had people just walking in, just neighbors. We had people who said, I'm new in town, but I want to do this. Are you going to do it next week? No, not next year. But they just had fun being outside. And because there was such a large group, Steve Begg, he's the chairman of our Environmental Protection Agency, and we've created what they call a certificate of participation. We handed over 22 out to various businesses, to the local agencies, to school boards, to the school athletic director, to the Environmental and Zonta Club, and the individuals who donated time and money for the success of the program. So I want to just bear with me while I give a special thanks to our Business Improvement District members, that's the BID, for the generous donations of the shirts. To the Pompton Lakes PAL, which my husband, Lloyd Kent, is the director for the last time, for the additional shirts, because we had to order 50 more shirts when we saw so many people signing up. So we had to have an extra, amount made, and good thing we did, because everything went. The Passaic County Clean Community Program also sponsors, though I guess they're going to be paying for some of this, some of the foods that we did eat, and they paid for the tote bags. We have the ice cream station. Son and Greg are just such generous couple, and they gave out the free ice cream coupons, and everybody grabs those. Frank's Pizza of Pompton Lakes gave us, I think there was 15 pizzas and cut in slices of 10. Not one was left. Not one pizza was left. So, and I want to thank him very much, because he made it very last minute, so we had so many people at the end. We had to put an extra 5 in. Ron and Julie Donkos, Julie purchased over 100 bottles of water, and they were all gone. So we thank her for that, and Ron, thank you. Columbia Bank, they had volunteers out there, and they were helping with the I guess they did the habitat. Yes, they did cleanup, and they did the habitat section. So they helped Lauren Venn and Kendall with that. And they also are buying a flowering cherry tree for our Lakeside Park. And I want to thank them for that. And I want to thank also Steve and Lauren for all the work that they did out on Haraldson Place. And our Board of Education participants, this year we had Dr. Ann Morosa and the secretary of the school board. And we have pictures of him, carrying bags of trash out from down in Joe Grillfield. So we laughed, because when does he carry out bags of garbage? So we had a great time with him. Of course, from the high school, Mr. John Torano from the Environmental Club, and of course we had high school coaches from all the sports: football, wrestling, cheerleading, lacrosse. We also had PLRYO, which is the volunteer private group, PLRSA, the soccer group, and PLRLL, which is the baseball, softball volunteers, and of course the mayor and council. And I want to, again, special thanks to Steve Begg, who went through all this, and Mike Meeker, who brought us into the 21st century with the codes. And we had a great time with the trivia contest. I have a trivia contest for the kids, and we actually we're having arguments about when the space travel happened, and who did the Earth flag, and where's our water from from in Pompton Lakes? Is it from the river? Is it from the wells? So we had we had fun with that. And we had to make sure everybody won, so it was a tie, because I wasn't going to argue with anybody about who was louder than the other, but we had a great time with that. And then at the very end, everybody got prizes for being dirty, or being the cleanest, or being, finding something unique, or who carried the heaviest. And we had a group of guys carry like really heavy fencing, and we really had a great time with that. So we had even someone from UPS from out of town. We had 2 out-of-towners, and they came because they heard about our program in Pompton Lakes, and they wanted to see how we ran it so that they can run theirs. So we're already, starting to go out, and we have a very good reputation on this. So I can't thank everybody enough. It was a wonderful time, and next year will be our 20th year. It'll be a big deal. Again, maybe we'll have 110 this time. We'll try to break our record. But I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Councilwoman, Council Liaison Polidori. I know you were out there with all your friends picking up lots of garbage, and everyone who came. Eric, I know you had something else of course, Eck, you're always there. And Bobby, I know you were sick. That's okay. I know. I hear you coughing over there. I hear you coughing. So I just want to thank everybody, and we had a great time. And that is my report.
Thank you. I think you used up your time for next week.
I think I did. I know. I'm sorry. It's a lot.
Councilman Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just echo Councilwoman Kent's remarks with the river cleanup. It was a huge turnout. You are inspiring others. My friend John Mason from UPS, who's a Little Falls resident, would like to kick off something similar. So thank you, John, for you and your wife for showing up. And you are inspiring the younger generations to take on stewardship and continue that. I'd like to thank the folks that put together the paint and plant over by the library, and the Friends of the Library for putting that together on, I think it was Saturday. My kids had a great time painting a little flower pot for their mom. The Eagle Scout ceremony, Gregory DeBoer, his project was along the Morris Canal Greenway to put gravel underneath the benches, and rather dig out the dirt and then put filter fabric and then gravel on top so that the grass wouldn't grow through the bench as it had in previous years. Tonight I went to the Lincoln School Art Show. I'm very happy that our school system continues with the art and music program. Actually, my daughter's over at the high school right now with the marching band. So arts and music, very important to continue. I'd like to congratulate our new borough administrator, Paula. I would look forward to working with you. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Cruz.
Good evening, everybody. My report will be generously shorter. I attended the Board of Ed Education meeting last night, and just to add to what Mayor Sarah said, yeah, they were handing out the Teacher of the Year award. So obviously Michelle Sarah, she was honored. She's a Lakeside teacher. We also had Miss Siobhan Carpenter out of Lincoln School, Mr. Mark Oliver, he's out of Lennox Elementary School. Eileen Allen, as you mentioned, 30 plus years. I mean, she's just an amazing woman. And it was really nice for the district to recognize all the hard work and all the feedback. And it's really the kids. The kids just love each and every one of them. My kids have had most, except for Eileen Allen. And unfortunately, they probably won't get a chance. But again, I just want to say congratulations to all of them. It was a very nice ceremony. And also, I know that you had mentioned, Mayor Sarah, regarding the recording for the Board of Ed meeting. So that was probably over a year in progress. I was actually a technology chair at the time when that was first put forward to start looking at some of the requirements we were going to have to record the meetings. It's not as simple as just coming up and putting up a camera. It does require a lot of research. I know, and I'm pretty sure ultimately they found a system that can be repurposed and used for other activities across the school, other events, not just a fixed camera. You will see if you attend a Board of Ed meeting, it's in the middle, in the center aisle between both seats, and you'll see the technology director there, and he'll be there obviously to make sure everything goes as smooth. Not quite sure about where they're going to be posting it. Ideally, it most likely was supposed to be the district website, and it's supposed to be a link to a storage solution for the videos for the residents to take a look. But I'll confirm with Mr. Superintendent Amoroso, just to see where they're going to be storing that information for the residents to see. And lastly.
And at some point, it's going to become, just so the residents, at some point, it'll be a library that you can go back and pull, or is it just gone after the meeting?
That's a good question. I know that during the time we were having this discussion, it was to retain historical videos, so you can go back and reference. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a retention period from when the video is recorded to when it'll be put down to give the residents time to view the meeting. So ideally, the videos are big, they take up storage, and obviously after you exceed what they give you for free or at your first subscription, they start charging a lot more money. So I can't imagine they're going to hold on to that for too long, just enough time for the residents to view it before the next meeting. And I just want to bring up one more thing, just because I think it's awesome they do this. So we have the Pompton Lakes Art on the Avenue. I don't know if a lot of you know they're doing that right now. My youngest one, Chloe, is actually participating this year, and she actually yelled at me last year for not submitting her name on this. But it's great, you know, it gives an opportunity for the little ones to kind of showcase, and really of all ages, to showcase a lot of their creativity and present that to the public. Obviously having it, I believe they're still going to have it on Wanacue on the fencing that's over there. So Paula, welcome. If you get a chance, once they're done, I believe it's in June, by all means, take a walk. It's amazing. It's amazing, just the creativity from the youngest ages that you see some of their fantastic artwork. So, but that's it for me. That's my report.
Thank you.
Teen night?
Well, the teen night, I didn't know if you had mentioned the teen
I
night
did. You want to bring it up?
from your, yes. So the teen night is coming up June 20th and July 18th. I believe July 18th is going to be the last one. They're not going to have anyone after that, but after, it's kind of nice to see that they're still doing 2 more. It's going to be from 6 to 9. I think it's a $5 cover charge for the students to come in, and I'm more than confident it's going to be an amazing experience.
You guys would know what better, the grades, what they?
It's middle school still,
Middle school,
right?
middle school 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, and 8. Okay.
Yes.
VFW, both times?
Both times they still continue to be at the VFW.
Okay. And they've been very popular, I can tell you.
Yes,
So,
yes, absolutely.
that it?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you. Councilman DeWine.
You actually skipped Bill.
Oh, did I skip Bill?
Yeah.
Councilman Begg, I skipped you. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I received the Pompton Lakes Police Department report for the month of April 2022 from Chief Derek Clark. There were 2,466 calls for service for the month of April. There were 520 motor vehicle stops, 292 summonses issued, 1 DWI arrest, 19 motor vehicle accidents investigated, 66 ambulance requests, 24 alarm conditions burglary, 1 alarm condition fire, no burglaries, 3 thefts, 0 sexual assaults, 0 aggravated assaults, 12 domestic violence investigations. The Detective Bureau investigated 10 complaints, conducted 9 background checks for firearm permits, completed 3 raffle and 1 bingo application, and 8 background checks for the military and police agencies. I received the Pompton Lakes Fire Department report from Fire Prevention Chief John Keating. He reports there were 25 calls for the month of April 2022 and a total of 101 calls for the year so far. I received the Pompton Lakes Riverdale First Aid Squad report for the month of April 2022 from Chief Mark Soni. There were 77 calls for service for the month of April. There were 45 calls in Pompton Lakes, 17 calls in Riverdale, 13 calls in Wanacue. There were 49 medical emergencies, 19 trauma calls, 0 CPR, 0 motor vehicle accidents, and 2 fire calls. And that's my report.
Thank you. Now, Councilman DeWine.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by welcoming Paula. Congratulations. I look forward to working with you in the borough. I did attend the 19th annual river cleanup. I can't believe it's 19. I started in 2008, which still seems far, but the fact that we've got something that's not only going strong after 19 years, but really got really just exploded this year. It was amazing to see all the people. A lot of credit, tons of credit goes towards you, Julie, members of the EPC that have just continued on and continue to grow it. I did get to work on the habitat restoration project for the Sustainable Jersey Grant. Again, that's a great project that I think, again, what we're doing is we're removing invasive species from along the Ramapo River and replanting native species. And why that's important and why this area is particularly important is because, this is the area that we used to have homes along River Edge Drive, and it used to be prone to severe repetitive flooding. And now we sort of, reclaim that area, and rather than allow it to just kind of grow as is, what we're trying to do is manage this area too, putting in plants and plantings that really contribute to flood mitigation, flood prevention, things like that, something that's hardy. So that's why this project is so important. This is, I think, hopefully the first step of really showing the other area, how we can manage the other areas that have been reclaimed. But not only that, but places like Little Falls and other towns that have the same kind of issues that Pompton Lakes has faced historically. But this is a demonstration project on how you do go about doing this, and not just, hey, we took down a bunch of homes and now whatever grows, grows. It's really about the conservation aspect of these kind of things. So it was great to take that first step. I'm really excited to see how things go out. As you mentioned, Lauren Venn and Steve Foreman, the amount of work that they put in towards this grant and getting it moving. Our engineer is Paul Ferreira, who submitted that permit application on our behalf. So it's good to see this sort of stuff starting to get implemented, and to see so many members of the community come out on that Saturday and help out, and in this particular area as well. Last thing I just wanted to bring up, actually two more things, but I was away this past week, but I did get an email from Ann Tassinelli, our Shade Tree Commission president. Just wanted to again point out, last council meeting we had the annual Arbor Day contest. The two essays were amazing. Really had their own particular spin, and a lot of the credit to get that going is done by Madeline Dente, one of the Shade Tree Commission commissioners, organizing it, getting the information out to the schools, working with the rest of the Shade Tree commissioners, Randy Hinton sitting in the audience, reviewing these amazing essays that I know fifth graders are capable of doing, and then actually having to select two winners. And again, thanks to principals of both elementary schools for supporting this annual project. And just to let you know, the two fifth graders, they were excited to read their essays. As the mayor pointed out, they did a tremendous job. I don't think I could do that when I was in fifth grade, standing up in front of an audience I didn't know, and doing that. And they received Visa gift cards and some special goodies from our Shade Tree Commission. So again, thanks to the borough, thanks to the mayor council for supporting it. Thanks especially to our Shade Tree Commission for keeping that going. Last thing is sort of a personal professional note of mine. Michael Lisicados, who I've known since 2006, he was a planner for the Passaic County planning department. Actually, while I was a member of the Morris County Planning Department, that's how we got to know each other. Most recently, he had been elevated to the Director of Planning and Development for Passaic County. He's been there for basically, I think, about 17 years. He's been a great friend for Pompton Lakes, working on the planning side of things. He's actually going to be leaving that planning director position. So I just wanted to recognize his hard work for Passaic County, thank him for his service, and recognize all the work that he had done. So
Thank you.
And that concludes my report, Mayor.
I forgot to mention, the geese addling got their final numbers in, and this year was a low number. It was 58, and that's a low number. That's a good sign that things are going the right way. A funny story, myself and Kevin McGrath, who runs this whole thing for us, called me over and he said, Mike, we got to go look at a house. We go to this house, and there's a shed that's 10 feet up in the air. And he goes, I'm not climbing up the ladder. So I climbed up the ladder. When we got up there, they had 6 baby geese already born, living on top of the roof. And we were just wondering how they're going to stay there, how they're going to live, because they don't fly at that point. They don't fly for another year. We did go back about a week later just to see, and they were all gone. So I don't know what happened to them, but that was an interesting story. Administrators, I'm sorry, professional report.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, Administrators report.
I have a couple things, nothing spectacular. First of all, we received an email from Ian Patterson, who's doing an Eagle project down the south end of town. Ian's gonna be putting in another one of the flowable walkways on the trails. Myself, Councilman Bennett, Councilman DeLine, and Warren Bennett had a Zoom call with him a few weeks ago, and we asked him to put his request in writing, which he did. I'm sure the council has no issue, so I'll respond back and wish him well as he begins his Eagle project, where he, a formal process, I think, helps him. He checked the town gave him a formal okay. We received the notification of 2023 DOT municipal aid project. We'll start picking a road and get ready to use that road for 2024. Because our 2023 project will be Lincoln Ave Phase 2.
So Lincoln Ave Phase 2 is the other side, right?
What was that?
It's the other side of Lincoln.
It'll come across the road, yeah. That'll be next year.
Yeah, next year,
yeah. So that we'll pick the road and we'll apply for the grant there. Lincoln Ave Phase 1 is done. It's all been striped and we're just waiting for the punch list to be finished. That's complete. Too bad they couldn't have gotten it done last year. I mean, if they would have had better weather, they've gotten a pretty good job. Very little resident complaints, which is always good. The library is moving along. A lot of rain has slowed us down. He's waiting for 2 more inspections and then he'll start buttoning it up and start to close out the framing and so forth. So that's moving along, but the rain has hampered him. Got a lot of work.
What's the time frame on the library?
In March and April.
Kevin, what's the time frame on the library?
Well, again, he was hoping to be done by June, but now all the weather, it's kind of slowed him down a little bit. But once he gets these permits, he hopes to try to get moving a lot quicker, because then he'll have all his roughing done, his framing done, and all his exterior plumbing and so forth done. The pond hole, tomorrow the new lights will be put in the pond hole, the new lights on the light stanchions. Then from there, the kiosk we put in, and once the utility company moves its pole, he'll do the final paving. The unique thing about the lights in the pond hole is that they're going to be able to be controlled by the police department. Because they're going to be able to have an app, they'll actually be able to control the illumination of the lights. This way, this way, let's say they have an issue down there, and at night the lights may be dim a little bit, they can actually put them to full brightness, they have to do an investigation. So they'll have the ability to control those lights through an app, which is kind of cool.
Have we got a date to remove the pole?
What's that?
Have we got a date to remove the pole? That has to come out.
No, that's, as I mentioned last meeting, the problem is that the Verizon rep, I guess, retired, and even the Jersey Central pet rep, who deals with these guys all the time, has no idea who his Verizon counterpart is.
So that could hold us up if we don't get something there.
And the sad part was, we started this process last March, so it wouldn't be this predicament today. It's unfortunate. But anyway, we're working on that, the contractor's working on that. But again, it's getting in. We'll get ready to start that process. We'll be able to do that second paving, and we'll be good to go. So hopefully, we're still hoping for the end of June. That's always been the goal.
They are gonna remove that island.
The island's
Pull it
gone.
back.
Yeah, they got rid of the island.
The island's gone.
It's gone.
The island's gone.
The island's gone. And it is better without the island, I can tell you that.
The island's gone. So let's move along, and just hope that we can get that one pole moved and we're completely done.
Yeah, what happens if we can't? I'm afraid that could stop the whole thing.
Well, he's not gonna do a second course of paving until that pole is gone.
I know, so.
That's all it'll do. It'll delay that second phase of paving.
Should we get our state representatives?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we can reach out to our senators and some women and see if they
Try
can.
that, try that, but I know.
See if we at least help, because I know.
These contractors have always got a contact, but for whatever reason, this gentleman, Mr. Camo, last time I talked to him, we were gonna put a guy wire in, next time he was gone. I don't know whether he retired but nobody answers emails any longer, so it's a little bit of frustration.
And I have a resident that lives on the other side of Lincoln that's gonna be paved next year, and they're asking if we can include in the plan, when you come off Hamburg Turnpike, just a little dotted line to show the distinction of the 2 lanes, because a lot of cars, he said, he lives on the corner there, a lot of cars come flying around that corner.
That's something we can tell the engineer
Yeah,
That's easy in the field.
Yeah, I think we can
Yeah,
look at
just
that.
count lanes, just paint.
Right.
Any questions, for the administrator?
I just want to thank Kevin. I had the township engineer from Washington Township reach out about they want to do some work along their streams and rivers, and they're asking Kevin for some guidance. So thank you for.
Yeah, Joe from Boswell.
Yes.
Yeah, I work with Jim on the Colfax Ave project.
So thank you. That's all I have.
Any other questions? Nope, okay. Okay, can I have a motion to open the meeting for public comments?
So
Motion. Oof, that was all right. Second. Bennett and Councilman DeLine. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, anyone from the public like to address? I see a young lady in the back. Does she want to address? That's my daughter. Would you like to address? Please step up.
Randy Hinton, 443 Montclair Avenue. Usually, Mr. Mayor, in your report, you talk about COVID cases that we had
Yeah,
uptick.
I didn't put, I kind of stopped putting out a report, but the numbers were 36 last month. The problem they're having with the reporting is a lot of people are just not reporting it anymore. So it's a
Home
number.
tests and
Yeah,
stuff that are
they're
not
just
getting
testing at
reported.
home and not reporting it. So the official number was 36, no deaths.
I also want to welcome Paula,
Thank you.
and the Shade Tree Commission looks forward to working with you.
I look forward to working with you as well.
Thank you, thank you. I won't mention the bucket truck because.
Start on it right now on the way out.
Is my 5 minutes up, or,
Yes, it's done.
or can I speak like Councilwoman Kent? Listen, another issue that I spotted in the proactive approach that Councilwoman Kent was talking about, and we've been doing with Shade Tree for a long time, I was down at Joe Grill Field. There's like 7 huge piles of logs just laying there in direct line of the baseball field. Now, right now, the Wanacue Reservoir is probably about 95% capacity. We just recently had 2¼ inches of rain. If we get a rain that's 4 to 6 inches, those logs are going to be going right through that baseball field. Why are they still piled up there? Why are they still
Kevin, those are
sitting
logs
there?
from DMK?
Is that behind Don Jenkins?
I don't know which logs you're talking about.
Are those the ones?
Remember the logs from storm last summer? I'll have to check.
Do you know where they are? Where are they?
Yeah, right in the back, as
Randy,
you
is it the
go,
last field all the way
right by the
down?
back ball
Don
field,
Jenkins. It's Don Jenkins Field.
Okay, so we'll have to figure out why they're
That
there.
was all cleaned up. That was it.
I mean, this-
That was all-
Who cleaned it up? We did?
I walk back there every day. I don't know what you're
Answer the
talking
question.
about.
Well, any work we did, unless that was from the last storm, I'll have to check it.
All right, we'll take a look.
yeah, there's got to be at least 100 logs on there.
No, it's a lot. Okay,
I
we'll
mean,
take a look.
Councilman Cruz knows where they are. And,
Did you put them
and
there?
Well, I dropped them off the last time. Just
He's
want to
got
give Randy a little more to talk about.
He's got a big truck, yeah. And I mean, also, there's 50 logs right behind, across from your house, laying in the back of town there.
Yeah, those we know. Those are DMK. He'll be removing those, yes.
Okay, all right. Councilwoman Kent brought up about the pest ordinance. Does that include white-tailed deer?
No, that's not a pest.
We'll have to keep working on that.
That's right.
Nice try.
Oh, Randy.
Painting our lines around the schools, has that started yet? Or- We had
No.
brought that up, and that was,
Yeah, into it.
okay. New police boat, is it on the lake? Is it patrolling?
They're in process of finishing their training, and then they will have everybody complete the training and ready to go, yes.
Oh, good. Were they learning how to water ski, or?
I can't answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Let's see. Well, that's just about it. That's all I had today. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public like to address? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session? Motion.
Second.
Council President Polidori, Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Privilege of the floor. Anybody privilege of the floor?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to thank Paula for her kind remarks for our town. I grew up here, so I can tell you it's always been a community rich in tradition and volunteerism and service, and I hope that sitting here tonight, you were able to see how integrated we are across the board. I mean, our businesses get involved, our residents support our businesses, in turn they support us. Our teachers were at the river cleanup so that the students could see that the teachers on their weekends get involved in community activities. I don't think that there's anything that goes on in this town that someone isn't willing to help or participate in everywhere you go. So for you to be here for only 3 days and already see that, it makes me proud to be here. And I welcome you, and I've been very excited to have you start. So thank you, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
I just have one thing I probably should have included in the DPW. I know, I'm sorry. We are hiring, correct, for DPW workers.
Always time for DPW.
So if you have anybody, we need them. If you, well, they'll be able to get some of these projects done that Mr.
Well, that
Higgins
brings up a good point, what Councilman Kent did. We are hiring, we're always hiring, but we also are looking for our normal summer help for college kids that work the summer months. We normally have about 4 of them for the summer. This year, we've had nobody apply. So if you don't have any kids who are home from college looking to work for a couple months, we'll gladly take them down to the DPW. So, and we normally do get them. So this year it's a little unusual, we don't have them.
The one year that my son, who was at a engineering college, he actually got credits. So if you know anyone who's an engineer who wants credits for civil engineering, I mean, that's civil engineering. You're building storm drains. You're cleaning storm drains. So you're dealing with roads and pavements. So I think we would be able to accommodate that. So any kids who are in an engineering, and they want to get a couple credits, now's the time to apply. It's a good experience. My son enjoyed it. He loved being on that garbage truck. He had a ball with that. So, and it was a good experience for him, and he got credit. He got college credit for it.
Are the openings posted on the borough website?
They are.
And are they shared, obviously, on all the social platforms?
Social media, yeah.
Trails maintenance was canceled last week due to the weather. It's on for this Sunday, May 15th at 10 a.m. We meet at the back of Willow Field.
Maybe you can move those lots.
Yes, sure.
No, they're heavy. They're big.
Anybody else?
That's all I got.
Okay, motion
I'm
adjourned.
afraid to say
Motion.
anything.
Second.
Somebody over there. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.